What's going on YouTube? This is Splurge, your captain of the Bracknell Beedrills. I'm bringing you coverage of the UPC Season 2. This is going to be my Week 2 game. I was playing Kurt of the U-Turn Jazz. So as you can see, I didn't actually show you my draft in the first episode, but I have Rayquaza, Tapulele, Mega Skizzer, Horlucha, Ditto, Torkoal, Rotom Wash, Garbodor, Milotic, Krookodile, Rhydon, Lilligant, which kind of now seeing it, my two Z captains of course are Rayquaza and Krookodile, but so having now seen it, this team isn't the fastest, and so I was going up against, again, not the fastest team, which so kind of helped my matchup here. But so I'm facing Ho-Oh, Genesect, Kyurem Black, Blastoise, Donphan, Chestnut, Skuntank, Togedemaru, Necrozma, Granbull, Miltank, and Dusclops. My prep, I decided to bring Delta Blaze, the Rayquaza. I had a Dragon Dance Flyinium Z set. This was just to have some sort of nuke on the team. Because generally this team didn't have much of a win con, it was just counter for counter. But yeah, so I mean, Earthquake was just spread damage. Dragon Ascent was specifically for either nuking a Genesect or one of the other mons. You have Stone Edge for Ho-Oh, just to make sure that thing stays dead. I then brought Chuck, so this is a Lefties Intimidate set, Stealth Rocker, the basic stuff with knockoff Stone Edge and Earthquake. I was kind of worried about Ho-Oh. It's something which, due to its ability, can get out of hand quite easily and is easily maintainable. But with Stealth Rocks that becomes a lot harder. I brought Rotom Mow. Now, so to ensure that I didn't get outsped at all, I decided to run a Thunder Wave set. This was just to fully ensure that those kind of shenanigans just wouldn't go on. I'm running Leaf Storm, Thunderbolt, Volt Switch. This was my main Blastoise counter, which is kind of worrying because Blastoise gets Ice Beam. But so this could, with Leaf Storm or Thunderbolt, could safely, definitely do over half to a Blastoise. I brought Replay with Choice Scarf. I EV'd this so that if the Genesect brought a hidden power of some sort, it would be HP Fire. Yeah, that's about as much as needs to be said on that. It was there to just turn into one of his team, whether it be broken or not. Cause a couple of issues, scout for sets. I then brought Rhydon. It's a rock polish set. This was in case, just for the unlikely event I could set up and then wreak a bit of havoc. The other reason why I brought this was so if I could get the rock polish off, it would cause unknown issues for Kyurem Black, which kind of ran through this team, and I was banking on it not coming just because I have Mega Skizzer and Horlucha on my team. Finally, I brought a Choice Specs Tapulele with Energy Ball, Hidden Power Fire, Psychic and Moonblast. Coverage for coverage. Max speed, just so that we can outdo any mons which decide to try and speed creep Modest. But yeah, so I'll go straight into the replay. So as you can see, he brought Granbull, Togedemaru, Genesect, Ho-Oh, Blastoise, and Frozlass. I'm not sure whether... Yeah, I think he traded off Frozlass a couple of weeks back. But so, Frozlass at the time was a bit of an issue, as so it could safely nuke Rayquaza. at this stage, I was kind of getting cold feet over only having one counter for Blastoise and the rest of the team kind of getting annihilated by it. But I mean, apart from that, it wasn't too bad. So when we lead off, so I lead the Rotom Mow against Genesect. I decided to not take any U-turn damage or something like that. I switch into Crocodile just to get the Intimidate off in case. U-turns out into Gramble, returns with his own Intimidate. At this stage, I decide to sack Chuck again, just to make sure that I get the Stealth Rocks up. So Crocodile goes down to play rough, and then so I bring in Tapu Lele because this just puts untold pressure on the team. And so I click a Psychic. It isn't 2-hit KOing, but so I decided to stay in just to see what would happen, because I didn't think Togedemaru would stay around. And I managed to kill off Blastoise early. This was really good for my battle plan. Genesect came back in, so I decided to kind of scout what sort of sets he is. He gets a crit. It's like, okay, well, these things happen. And then, so here, this really helped me in the end game. You'll see why in a bit. But so, Ditto came in and got the download boost of attack against the Genesect. So when I calced this, an Iron Head was doing over half to pretty much any sort of offensive set, which is just something to keep in mind. He Iron Heads at this point. It does 40. That's something else to keep in mind. So at 1.5, it does 40. I U-turn out just to gain some momentum. I kill off Togedemaru. It was a bit of an interesting mon for my team, but it wasn't much of an issue. I send out Rhyhorn Rhydon just to take a kill, to sack it off because there wasn't much use for it at that point with that sort of HP. Genesect kills it. I switch in Rotom though because now I'm able to Thunder Wave something and I'm allowed to safely Thunder Wave something. So for Frostlass with this speed now, it's considerably less threatening. I Volt Switch out and it doesn't kill, which was kind of worrying. I make the bold play of switching into Rayquaza, and he did Shadow Ball, so the play paid off. At which point I'm able to Earthquake, kill off the Frostlass, and then Gramble comes in, and so I kind of look at my team and think, well, I need to get to a position where Ditto's in against Genesect, so I just decide to get off the most damage possible, let Rayquaza die, but it takes half of Gramble's HP, which means that it's well within range of Tapu Lele, and also Rotom. We get the crit, but I don't think it mattered, at which point Genesect comes in, it gets the special attack boost, and the U-turns out straight off the bat, and we live, and it's like, oh my word, this is my opportunity, and we missed the Thunder Wave. I mean, had it not been for what you're about to see, in the cases of the fact that Rotom's still outsped, I was quite annoyed at this point, and then the Flame Charge came through as well, and it was Life Orb. So that made the end of that. Now, so at this point, I decide to sack Lele, so you get the +1 attack on the Genesect. So Tapu Lele, whatever it did, didn't outspeed the Genesect. It was going to be max speed. And so if I decide to lead Ditto, both of us would have got the attack boost, but I'd only be at +1. And because I'd taken Rocky Helmet damage, he would have killed me in one. And so what I needed was the +2, because now at this point it was a definite kill at +2 with the Ditto. So I decided to sack the Lele so that he gets the +1 attack, and so I can switch in the Ditto to get +2. So he goes to the Iron Head, kind of just hit what you see. At which point I'm able to come in with the Ditto, get to +2, and then Ironhead my way to victory. Now, so the one other thing which I hadn't realised was that the Genesect of that was actually scarfed. So I mean, the fact that it came down to a speed tie as well was kind of unfortunate for Kurt. I can only all I can say to that is hacks is hacks. But yeah, so we won our first game of the season. We're already doing way better than we did last season, and I hope to bring you week 3 very soon.